this is my project that I'm going to be showing you for today. This is a hotel, and what we're going to be doing is we're tearing off all the old wood siding from the 1970s. We're going to be tearing off the brick, putting in all new windows, and we're going to be putting on new vinyl siding and stone on the front of the building, vinyl siding around the rest, and we're going to be putting a little bit of LP Smart siding on underneath the windows. Basically, we're going to do some needed repairs to prolong the life of this building, but we're also going to beautify it. So why don't you walk with me? I'm going to show you some areas of concern that as we do the demo, as we're doing this in a few sections. We're doing the pre-construction right now, where I'm getting everything all set up. All the materials are here. We have to do a lead test. We're in Minnesota. So anything built before 1978, we need to test and see if there's lead in the paint. If there is, we have to do some special procedures to try to catch all that lead paint to make sure that it doesn't get out in the atmosphere or you breathe it in or kids end up eating it. So we're going to do the lead test today. Then tomorrow we're going to begin the demo. After the demo, as it's going on, we're going to be identifying areas that are going to need rot repair, so carpentry. After the carpentry is done, we get all the house wrap on. Then we can begin installing windows, then putting the siding on. So why don't you come with me and I'm going to show you some points of interest. There's other areas like this too along the foundation where we know we're going to be addressing rot on the sheeting, planking, and then probably where the wall meets the foundation along the sill as well. So another point of interest, and we're probably going to be finding some problems. Another area, if you walk with me, if you look at almost all of the outside corners and inside corners, if you have a house with wood siding, watch those. Cracks like this. The water gets behind there and it sits. There's no way for the water to come out and it's not going to dry. And you can see all this crack, and you see that? I can see all the way back in there because over the years they've been painting this, but they have not been scraping off the old caulk and recalking. So I know that when we pull off these outside corners and we start taking off the siding, we're going to find rot. Now this is our southern exposure wall. Always, I suppose unless you live in China, the southern exposure is going to be your very worst wall always. And you see how the paint is deteriorating, the wood is deteriorating. All these 10-inch planks, they're all cupping and buckling. And I know that on this wall, with the way the caulk is stuff, we're going to find issues here. That's why whenever you're doing a home project like this, when you are doing anything with your siding, some contractor comes along and they say, hey, I can put the siding right over top of your old siding. No, because unless you address what's going on underneath of this, deal with the rot, take care of that, any of the moisture stuff, get the exterior moisture barrier right before you put on top of that, you're not doing it the proper way. So we take off all the old siding, then we put on the house wrap and we move on from there. Now, we do construction in Minnesota, and in Minnesota, any building built before 1978, you have to do a lead test. You need to make sure that what you're working with when you're doing tear off is not lead, because you don't want that lead dust, toxic lead dust in the air to breathe, or chips on the ground the kids might pick up and play with or eat. So this is a lead test. I've already lead tested the building. I usually do it in multiple areas just in case the trim might have been a different type of paint than what the rest of the field is. So what you do is you take this tester you can buy at Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, and you twist the ends. And what this does, this lets loose the agent inside, and it comes to this soft tip. And this soft tip, see that? And it's like cottony. So when you hold it upside down the whole time, you twist it, then you shake it, and once you see that yellow agent on the tip, then you take it and you rub it on your surface. And what you do is you rub it, and then you wait a little while and you watch. If it doesn't turn colors, then you're good. They also give you a little card that you can rub on that has lead on it, that you can make sure that the test was correct, that you didn't have a faulty tester. It'll turn red or pink like this one did. This one turned pink because I rubbed it on the card and I made sure that it was a correct test. So I've gone all the way around this building. I've tested multiple locations and we have absolutely no sign of lead. So during the tear off, we did find rot just like we were expecting. So why don't you come with me? Now you can see here that along this line, they had pitched the tar up against the wall. Well, we have to get down to the sill because our house wrap and our siding have to go down to the sill. So this is all gonna end up being regraded. This tar is gonna have to come out and then we're gonna have to take care of this. We also found rot, so what we did, we cut off all the old rotten sheeting on the outside. Still have a little bit more to take off, get rid of this black mold. We're replacing, you can see there's a little bit of rot on the studs. So look up, since there's not much of a load on this wall, we're sistering a stud right next to the existing stud. And then we're replacing all the insulation, you see, and then we're putting treated plywood, as you can see down here, over top of that. So we're replacing this sheeting with green treated. So why don't you walk along with me? So, house wrap. You can see here all these little plastic cap nails. And the purpose of these plastic cap nails is two things: holding the house wrap on, and it gives you kind of a watertight barrier after it's tight. Some people, and you'll see siders all the time, that don't know how to put on house wrap. If you see them doing this on your house wrap, tell them to stop. You need to do this, because if you take this and you're hammering on this, this is what's keeping water from getting into the building if for some reason you get water behind the siding, which may happen. That's what this is. If you take this and you start hammering on this and sticking staples, and that staples between the hammer and the staple hole, if the water comes down and starts sheeting down here, it's going to follow into the hole and your house wrap is going to fail. Cap nails, not hammer stapler, ever.